The real talent is me for setting this up.
Oh, I see.
All right, we're live on YouTube. We caught you doing that on YouTube as well.
That's lovely.
All right, we'll have to adjust the audio a little bit as our volume levels are a little bit. You can introduce yourself to YouTube if you'd like, Willow.
Would you be willing to get me a little for my computer?
Yeah, of course. A little stool?
Yes, a little stool.
All right.
Hello, we're fashionably, I'm told, late. And if you're German, there is no such thing as fashionably late. It's just late and it's a problem.
But we're a fashion company, so we're allowed to be fashionably late.
Fashionably late. Yes, I know.
In fact, if we're not, we're sort of messing it up.
Are we yeah. Are we fashionable enough yet?
Yes. Only the most fashionable.
Welcome! Thank you for joining us on this lovely Thursday afternoon. We're here to sew a brand new product, and I'm here to look good and to talk about it. I didn't realize the eye on your Juki machine is a tiny panda. I love that.
You know what? I don't think I ever noticed that either.
Somebody must have stuck that there.
Somebody must have gotten a little panda sticker, and there's a little panda.
Many thanks to you.
Fun.
This way I can not take up David's stitching space with my laptop-y, but still see comments as they come in.
I was just planning on dropping stuff on top of your laptop. You don't really need to see the keyboard.
That's fair, but
right.
This is nicer.
Yeah.
This is nicer for me. Hello!
We're live on Instagram now.
Hello! Welcome to Instagram Live.
Oh, that's cute.
If you're just joining us, I hope you can hear us at all over the
Everything.
gentle puttering of our lovely industrial Juki straight stitchers.
Supposedly we did. We figured out the sound for that.
I was gonna take a listen and some jokes.
It's funny to start a sewing stream, like the second it started on Instagram, my bobbin ran out.
I think that's good luck. Isn't that like at a
that's
wedding?
good luck, yep.
When it rains, it's good luck, supposedly?
That's right.
Welcome, thank you for joining us. We're sewing a fancy new product.
Yeah,
And we're not allowed to tell you what it is, I've been told.
No. We have been thinking of making this product for a while, so we're making this this prototype as a, this seemed like a good opportunity to do it. It's fun for our stream. It's almost May, so it's a good time.
Almost May. That's like a teaser.
It's a little bit of a teaser.
That's a teaser if you're paying attention. If you have questions, comments, drop them in the chat. So they're going to be kind of funneled around from there to here so that I can see them. And I'd be happy to, we don't have a big agenda, and this will take some time. So please feel free to ask us anything or jump in.
You guys sound great.
Cool. We set aside about an hour and a half for this stream. Normally, it takes me about 2 hours to make a jacket, so we're assuming that it'll take me about 2 hours to make this jacket.
While also kind of talking.
So I started sewing at
The
1:35, so that I could have the lining done, because that's not exciting to watch anyway. And now I'm starting to work on the small details for the exterior of the jacket. Like
While I'm here, I guess I can ask an Instagram question. It's actually a good question. Is this a stream to gauge interest in a product?
Yes.
What an interesting idea.
Sure.
Maybe. Not really.
It is. It's a great opportunity. It's always a good thing to do.
Great. No, we're interesting. That's a good theory. I like that theory, but it isn't quite, I think, what the goal here is. I think there's a lot of parts of going into a jacket that don't necessarily get seen, and it's kind of nice to share a little bit of the process.
Especially since it's our birthday week.
It's our birthday week, so we kind of get to do some stuff for fun. And I think this is fun. This is one of the ways in which we have fun.
We don't have any cameras. I can't really talk in this direction.
No, that's cool. So what he's doing now is top stitching what I believe is a pocket. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's a pocket. And it's a nice bright orange contrasty stitch that you'll see shortly, hopefully, when he comes around the other way. Yeah, it's crazy to think that we've been doing this for like 11 years. I remember in our very first studio, which was about 600 square feet, it was all like squished together, and we had maybe 2 sewing stations. We had 2 sewing stations, and we were still using like a home overlock machine when we occasionally did those. I love how crisp and flat things are when they first get stitched. I was looking through our pictures because I was looking for something to post on socials for like old stuff, and I found this selfie of Yumi and Andrew at Gen Con in front of the like indie. They had this like backdrop banner that was sort of like Indie 500 themed, but it was Gen Con indie, and it was funny to see we were thinner, we had less wrinkles, we had more colorful hair, and there were a lot less people in our company. I'm pretty sure that Yumi and Andrew were the entire operating, like we were it, I think. Yeah, don't you think? There was a whole season when it was just Yumi and Andrew, and he was doing like technical design and helping.
We always had a stitcher.
You think we had a stitcher at that time? Yeah, maybe we had a stitcher. So it wasn't 100% of the company.
Yeah.
But it would have been most of us.
Pockets.
Look at those pockets.
Here we are.
Um,
Or they're part of a pocket anyway. So, what was I thinking?
that I can't tell you.
Not everyone. I mean, we've done a couple of these sewing live streams in the past. We find them fun. This, for me, we were talking about what we could do this week, to celebrate, and having topics for several nice live streams over the course of a single week, when we usually just do them for product launches. This felt like a really good one because it shows, it's like this is what we do. This is our normal process.
This is like a day-to-day thing. I don't usually sit here while he sews. I usually sit somewhere else, but and do other kinds of stuff like operationalizing and helping other pieces of the puzzle work. But it's fun to sit.
Yeah, but I usually do sew the first of a new style. So
yeah,
this is.
I think what I've spoken.
This is a product that we're working on.
Yeah.
And so this is the product that made it to the live stream this week.
Nice. Yeah. We kind of like to sew. From what I understand, not being on that side of things, sewing the first sample also kind of allows you to see what's working and what's not working right away. Because you can sort of see, oh, well, that collar doesn't fit nicely in with the. I personally think it's exciting that we do all parts of our thing. It's not such an easy space to be in between like being a single maker or like maybe a couple people making stuff and being a company that makes stuff. It's not an easy, I feel like we're in this transition between being a couple, and we've been there for a few years, being a couple people who make great things. I know a lot of small makers who are in this size group. They're less than 5 people total, and I love small businesses like that. I think it's a really nice atmosphere and something we want to keep and then we're also trying to do something that's we want to be able to make all these different kinds of products and types of products, so we need other tools and kind of modes of production.
Yeah, we need to be bigger than, we need the company to be bigger than the sort of mom and pop operation, but we need the design ethos and just to be this sort of small thing because it feels authentic to how we operate and how we think
and how we want to be
caring about what we do is a really big part of it. It's really hard to do as the operation gets bigger.
It is, because it's I can only care about the slice that I can see every day and touch every day. Yep. And it's not possible to care about all aspects. And so then you hire people who care in the ways that you need them to. I remember when we hired Emily, she made such beautiful samples and she really cared about the details. She went back and she got it right. And And I think Ellen really cares about each customer and their customer experience, and they're like tries to answer the questions they ask to the fullest. And so like finding people who care as much as you would, maybe not about, they can't care about everything, but they can care about their thing and do a nice job at it is the goal. And I don't think it's a quick one. Because it's very hard to care about something you don't like doing. So people who are looking for just a job, it just like it doesn't ever work. So yeah, not an easy path, but a really good one, I think. We do have one question. The Poor Collective says, "What is the high collar thing Willow is wearing? It's fantastic." Oh, thank you.
Willow, in the way that Willow is.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I learned this bad habit from you.
Yes, I know.
I am
Or
wearing...
at least we have similar propensity for bad habits, for this bad habit.
I'll tell you all about everything I'm wearing if you really want to know. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it. I'm wearing a dress from Maresca, which is an upstate New York owned brand that's run by a lovely woman who we sort of know. This particular dress did a season of a Ren Fair, so it's got some Ren Fair stains. Mostly the bottom hem is like shredded and dusty, even though it's been washed thoroughly, trust me. Then I'm wearing a piece, this is actually a Muster brand piece that Coco dyed blue. Coco was one of our previous employees who went on to a new adventure, and she did production for a long time before Emily came along. And she went through these color phases, and then she would dye everything in her wardrobe, not everything, but many things, that color. And so she dyed this, it was kind of a sad brown color, and now it's a weird gray color with
Sad
blue
brown,
accent.
light Jedi.
It was Jedi, yeah, it was, but I don't really wear brown, so, but I do wear gray. And then the outer piece, am I allowed to talk about it yet? It's coming soon.
The outer piece is coming.
So,
Yeah, I think you're allowed to talk about it.
it's
It's
coming
new.
soon. It's new. It won't come in these colors, I'm afraid. This was a sample, but.
Yes.
And I think this one has a slightly higher shoulder. Yes. This one has a slightly higher shoulder than the next one. The next one being the official one. But it will come in some fabulous colors. Can't wait. Just picked the colors for that, and I think it's coming in September, October?
Something like that.
October, I think. We have to buy, so if you don't know, our production process is like at least 6 weeks of actual stitching and then QCing time. So we're making decisions like a quarter out. So we're already making plans for the fall.
That's 6 months. We're working on having plans completely finalized 6 months before a product is supposed to launch.
Yep.
For our own sanity.
For our own sanity. Well, and I think we do things, you can't rush doing things, well. Tell me about your little piles, because I know they look, there is a system in the little piles. I bet you people would like to
they're
know
all
about.
rolled up nicely.
Tell me about your little roll piles.
I sew things in sections. So this is the back of the jacket. All the pieces that make up the back of the jacket. So that I can keep things organized. I know, like, okay, when I open this pile, these are the back pieces. So I'm going to start, just putting those together. I usually have a pile for the front, each half of the front, the back, and then the sleeves. And then, like, the collar is its own little, like, 2-piece pile.
Nice. So you don't have to figure out what it is you're looking at
Well,
when you pick
so
it
I
up.
don't have to figure out it in the moment. Yeah, like, I've already figured this out. I know where things are. I know what my next operation is going to be when I open this little thing up. And or sometimes. So the way that we put things together, like I was saying, we don't do these live streams all the time. So I may repeat some things, but like because every seam is top stitched, and because a lot of our designs are intersecting seams, you don't want the seams where like this will be top stitched, and then it has to be sewn against another seam which will be top stitched. I have to top stitch this before I can sew this edge, and sometimes it gets really complicated. The
This thing
operation,
that
the
he's doing right
stages.
now, it has taken years, is something that's really hard, which is, I think it's called easing in the fabric or something like that.
You're just sewing opposite curves so that they have yeah.
But the way you did that, you made it look unbelievably easy and smooth, and I'm sure that curve will be elegant and smooth, but it is actually really fucking hard. I'm not a gifted sewer. I can get by, but I would not pass the Volante quality tests to get in as a stitcher here.
Did you give them the questions that I sent about what you're wearing currently?
I did, and I answered it if you
Okay.
would be following along.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. That was one of the first things they noticed. So.
You're putting these in the marketing prime chat, that's fine. I
Yeah.
was just like, cool.
All right, cool.
Great.
Whatever's making this like electrical sound is really picking up well.
Yeah, that electrical sound is actually a permanent part of the space.
All right.
Yeah, there's one behind this big box here, and there's one over there in that orange box.
When we moved in, we convinced them to build this enormous box around like a whole bunch of transformers.
It's a bunch of, yeah, it's
And then there's
electrical
another
equipment.
transformer over there that we couldn't build a box around, so that we get to hear that nice sound all the time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome. This is a warehouse. It's an industrial space. It's really chic and rugged, and it also buzzes,
If
which
people
is a
don't
delight.
bring up the buzz, we forget about it a little
That's true.
bit.
We do forget about it.
But then sometimes people like to remind us that we're living in a space that constantly buzzes.
It does constantly buzz. I do find that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not my favorite feature.
At least it's a brown noise.
That's true.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be a high-pitched noise.
Yeah, if it was like a really loud white noise, it'd be very unpleasant.
Yep. In other news about our building, we had a leak on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Monday, which got resolved on
It got resolved that day.
Monday, but it dribbled out for quite a few hours after that. And yeah, we're on the bottom floor, so I guess it leaked through 3 or 4 floors before it got to us.
We got not just water, but we got all the gunk that came through the 3
It was
floors
filtered.
above
It's
us.
sort of like a quadruple times filtered water
It's a nice
to
brown
each
color.
floor level.
It's really
But it didn't
nice.
get anything. Nothing was damaged. We just put out.
Shockingly, it leaked, and it was a lot of water.
Yeah.
Shockingly, it leaked and landed in between important things.
Yeah. Between the shipping station and
all
the first
of the
row
inventory.
of stock.
If it had been 5 feet, if the main primary leak had been 5 feet closer to the windows, we would have lost thousands and thousands of dollars of stock. Like it would have probably ruined an entire run of Rooks.
Yeah, that makes me want to cry. But anyway, here we
Yeah,
are.
we don't have to cry because it didn't happen that way.
We got lucky. That was our birthday.
Yeah, that was very lucky.
This is birthday
little
luck.
thing.
So if you're just joining us, we're sewing something new, something never before seen.
Abby, wait, hang on. Before we,
Yeah.
while the leak was, Abby was like, "Sounds like it's raining."
There's a little flag. Like, why is it raining?
Why is it raining in this place? Oh man, I gotta do some snaps, so I'm gonna have to walk past it.
Oh, okay. But that means I think you're also stealing my chair, right? No?
I just got over here.
Bye.
So keep talking.
Yeah, well, anyway, if you're joining us for the first time, hi, welcome. We're live streaming for the Volante 11th birthday week of things going on. That's the official word. That's the official title. We should put that in all the graphics. The week of birthday things going on. And we're sewing something. I'm not sewing anything. I'm just sitting around and talking to you and fielding your questions if you have them. And kind of reminding David that he's not just sewing a sample and he can't just listen to drum and bass and like sew. He has to like also look up once in a while, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the purpose of this. It's the humming of your warp core. Yes, Spy 00J. It's the humming of your warp core. I like that. I think we will try and think of it that way. It's the humming of our warp core. Thank you.
That will make me feel a lot better.
It does. It does make me feel better too. Are they snaps for a pocket? Snaps for a closure? Are we taking guesses?
These are cuff snaps.
Cuff snaps. Do we have any other products that have cuff snaps? I don't think so.
The Rook does.
That's right. The Rook does have cuff snaps. The original Rook had button snaps, and we were trying to make it slightly more cost-effective to make, so we put some snaps on there. Ellen is laboriously picking out and correcting bits of top stitching on some Star Warrior vests that got top stitched incorrectly. So she's doing God's work, good work. It's a little bit of a long process because top stitching is, you know, it's so visible. If you don't do it perfecto, it shows loud and clear.
What was it? Yeah. Aside from, the Rook, I guess it's partly for cost effectiveness. I like snaps on cuffs because
it's really unbelievably hard to do a button on your own
it's
sleeve.
such a pain in the ass to do buttons on your sleeve, and if you don't have to, that's great. Like it doesn't. I guess if you needed like a really fancy like tuxedo, button or whatever.
Well, then you're already in.
You're already in somebody else's helping you get dressed. Situation.
Territory, and aren't like the really fancy shirts don't even have buttons. They have what are they called? The doodahs that hold your cuffs together.
Cufflinks.
Cufflinks.
Yeah, but like the jacket cuff might have. But even then, those are, unless they're really nice, they're not. They're just sewn on. They're not actually buttons.
Yeah.
And they put them really close together, so they're one on top of the other. That's called kissing buttons.
They're called kissing buttons.
Yeah. Because they are
cute.
kissing each other, not
And because you go out kissing in them.
because it's time to kiss people.
No.
Time to go a smooching.
That's why people wear tuxedos. That's what I've always thought. That's your kissing jacket.
Works. Yeah, this is my kissing jacket.
It's my kissing jacket. No, that's cute though. Kissing buttons. They do kind of overlap a little almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what the buttons down like on a lady's dress are called? Are the like little tiny buttons that are all in a row?
Nope. No idea.
They're usually covered fabric buttons.
Yeah. So I've kind of made one of these before. This is sort of the second version of this. It's I wonder if someone. I'm like hesitant to talk about like what the design is because I want to know if somebody recognizes it. The back that I showed before that I was about to top stitch sort of gives it away, but it's just two pieces. Maybe not, but it is sort of a
I remember buying these.
my cool black oxidized.
Yeah, I bought those at some point.
Need some nice ninja scissors.
I think I bought them when we were using the Carlson, which was our original sample cutter machine, but we often had to do little recuts, and it wasn't worth loading everything up on the Carlson because it was pretty slow. So we would do recuts, and I would do them by hand.
Cut, yeah.
And so I bought myself these sexy black scissors because they made it funner.
Because you needed to feel stylish while you were doing it.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, this is sort of a revisiting of a design that actually never got released. Didn't quite do what we wanted it to do. It didn't show up in our stream. I almost put it on or brought it onto the stream the Vault walkthrough the other day, but I didn't. Kind of ran out of time. There was a bunch of designs we didn't get to show off there.
Yeah. On the Vault stream?
On the Vault stream.
Yeah.
I did bring out the I don't know if you weren't watching it.
I wasn't able to watch it. I was chasing around two little hellions.
Yep. But we did talk about the Journey coat.
Aw, man.
I know.
I love the Journey coat. I remember going to see to meet the people for God of War and going by that game studio's like little door in the God of War studio, Santa Monica Studios, and kind of feeling like God of War is cool and all, but you know who's really my SP? Those guys that we're not actually here to talk to at all. And yeah, I'd still love to do a journey code.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that? It
No.
was, we were after a con and we were pretty tired and beat up.
Pretty trashed.
Yep, we were kind of like dragging, but we took an Uber out to Santa Monica Studios. And we met with, oh, you know, it might have been,
Somebody else?
Was it me and Mike? I remember doing it with another person, and I'm sorry to say, I don't remember who that was.
Probably you and Mike.
It might have been Mike.
It wasn't.
Because it wasn't Sarah. Anyway, we took an Uber out to Santa Monica Studios, and we met with the team, and they were sort of like, yeah, we'd love to do this, that, and the other thing. We talked about like what we could possibly do for God of War. And they were like, do you do soccer jerseys? And we were like, no, not really.
No, I definitely wasn't there for that conversation.
What else might you be interested in? And we were like,
we kind of do jackets,
we
you know?
kind of do jackets.
Rios kind of doesn't wear a jacket.
Right. Well, we kind of had this conversation because we were there for, I think, WonderCon. I think we were at WonderCon. And then the day after, we were there for a day, and we said, why not? Let's go meet these people. Because what happens when you sign a license with somebody who's owned by somebody is you don't always talk to the studio directly at all. So you might, when we signed with PlayStation...
It can be hard to get on the same page with the creatives who are approving what you're doing.
Yeah. So you sign with PlayStation, but you don't necessarily meet with the people who you're working with directly at all until it's time to start releasing products. And they might not even know who your company is and why they want to work with you, or if they want to work with you. They kind of get signed up by their
The first time they
company.
ever hear from you is when you
submit a product.
through the portal for approval.
And then they're
like, who are these people? And what
why
kind
do
of
we
stuff
want to
do
make
they
a
do?
$400 jacket? We want to make soccer jerseys. And we're like, I know
Maybe we
clothes
should have
seem
talked about
like
this
all
earlier.
the same kind of thing, but it's a little different. There's some categories.
Yes,
Got plenty of compliments on my Star Wars past weekend at D&I Con. Spy 00J. Love those. Thank you. They are really awesome. They're some of our, like, one of our older designs, the Star Warrior vest, but it's just a really classic silhouette and it adds a lot. It has been some very, very significant changes. Well, maybe they're not, you know, but they all have the same, like, ethos, I think, which is nice. If you are thinking, if you're on the fence about something of ours, we are doing a sale until the end of the day Friday. And everything on our website is at 11% off, which is something we don't do that often. Because we're a small brand, our margins are not baked in to be like that large. And so the sale feels like a big deal to us. And we love to be able to offer it. And probably the next sale we do will be for Black Friday in November. So if you're on the fence about something, this is a great time to go and do something about that. This looks to me like a sleeve.
Yep.
Yep, 2 sleeves, mirroring, very nice. It's been fun to do more orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's orange has not really ever been in our. Have you done it a couple of times?
Orange? Yeah, we only just launched our first like kind of orange thing.
Except for the Mollywan color scheme, which is my favorite color scheme of the Maya jacket.
The blue, orange, and gray one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one is really cool. But it's been a long time since we've launched anything orange.
Yeah.
We were thinking of making a yellow Augment H for Storm, but we can't find the right yellow.
Yeah.
It's hard to get right. So we wanted to kind of make a Kill Bill color of the Augment H4, which I think would be sweet. But
We're gonna have to keep searching for yellow.
yeah, it may happen someday. We have to find the right material and the right color. I think color makes a big difference. Yeah. Teresa Wind asks, how often do you usually get licensing deals through licensing conventions versus other means? That's a great question. There are a couple parts to the answer. And I think they also like speak to different parts of our company's lifespan. We did it a little differently at different phases, so.
You can answer it.
Hey Emily, I'm wondering if the sound is picking up online because they can hear our buzzing. So I'm wondering
If they can also hear you.
Yeah. If you're broadcasting whatever it is you're talking about on live.
Okay.
Sorry to holler across the world at you. I don't know if you are or not, but maybe our channel can let us know if you're.
Maybe, I guess it just makes the purpose of having to talk about things, but okay.
No, I mean just. That's all she's saying. Just quiet. Just be
No,
aware.
I would
be
say
aware of the
you-
fact that we may be.
You may be being recorded on the internet right now. The sound isn't picking up too badly. Probably not a big deal. Great, sorry. So, the licensing question, earlier on, we would have had to do really formal, we would have gone to licensing expo and things like that. Although some of our first licenses we got like because we figured out how to find the right people. The Star Trek license was one of the first. Our very first license was what? Capcom? Capcom.
Well, yeah.
And we reached them at Licensing Expo, I think.
We only ever went to licensing expo one time.
That's not true. We went like 3 times.
You went once with Mike, and I went once the year after that with you.
Ah. Maybe so.
And that's how we got.
You guys are
Ubisoft.
good sound wise.
Great.
Can only hear the two of them and maybe
And-
Percy.
Firsty!
You went with Mike. That's how we got Ubisoft.
That's right.
But before that, like PlayStation, Capcom, Master of Wills, Dauntless, none of those were licensing expo. Those
That's
were all
true. They
from
were all
like,
like at other shows.
they were
We
all,
would
like,
meet
PAX,
people
yeah.
and talk to people. PAX East was was a lot of those. We met people at PAX East.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was more through word of mouth than anything else. Yeah.
Or E3.
Yes,
PlayStation was
E3.
E3.
We did a few things at E3. I think we kind of only ever went to E3 to meet other brands and not. I mean, like we did have a booth and we sold some products, but I think it was really the goal was. So yeah, I guess you're right. It is more indirect than I thought. We signed BioWare at licensing. They came to us at PAX.
At PAX.
Huh. But then we had a meeting with them at Licensing Expo, and that
Nope.
was where we finalized things. No?
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
I remember distinctly meeting with our rep from BioWare in the
We did, but he wasn't even going to licensing expo. We met him. He was in Vegas for a different reason, for a different convention or a sports event. We met him.
You're blowing my mind.
We didn't even meet
You're
him within the
blowing my
licensing
mind.
expo thing.
So Licensing Expo is useless. Is that what you're telling me?
No, we just have never used it except for with Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's true. We did sign Ubisoft at Licensing. Awesome. We got other orange things because it's in my closet. Is the Afterimage Vest in orange? In Ember? Of course it is. Thank you for reminding us. It's yeah. It's
That goes to show how much orange fits into Willow and my what do you call
Brains?
it? Brains and wardrobes.
I don't know. I have an orange phone case. I have an orange watch.
It's new, but those are new. It's a new thing.
Yeah, that's true. If you have you been reached out to about a customer survey? We would love to hear about you. We are every few years we do a survey to sort of check up if our customers have radically changed in some capacity. So far, y'all seem to be the same people you were way back when, which is heartening.
But we're getting different information.
Sure, we are asking some different questions, but if you've been reached out to about the survey, we would so appreciate it. You will get $10 for completing the survey as a gift, and then you'll be entered in to win $1,000 as a gift card, which, not bad. It's not a huge pool of people, so you have a reasonable chance. Pity chat. D says, is Volante Bolero Willow is wearing available as a custom order? It would be if you're in that
It could be,
category,
yes.
yep.
But you
Although
might
it will
wanna
be
wait.
coming out in October,
You might want to
we
wait.
think. Although the date hasn't been firmly set, but I think that's the month it's being planned for. Thank you for asking questions. It's fun to chat with you and answer your questions, and gives us something concrete to talk about rather than,
I I should press this pocket first.
Is it gonna look worse if you don't press it?
No,
No.
it's just going to be a little harder to do.
I see.
Probably won't look worse.
You know how much I like probably. It was fun to see people's answers to our office quiz. I think there are a lot of fairly distinctive personalities here at Volante Design, and they show in our office layout sometimes. I'm sure you can probably put together who wrote the survey based on how they describe themselves. So I'll let you peruse that if you wish to see.
Well, you can tell it definitely wasn't me because I probably wouldn't lead with. It's not my point of pride to have an extra copy of Breath of the Wild in my office.
It's not your point of pride, no. It's just a fact. You have some fun.
It's not even an extra copy. It's just the box for the special edition.
You are a box saver of many.
I
have to be like, are we really gonna keep this PlayStation box? Are you really ever gonna get rid of your PlayStation and also gonna need the box? So I don't know.
It doesn't usually stick around that long.
That's not.
It's not because the
We
conversation
moved
comes up
in
pretty
the
fast.
last few years. So there were a lot of boxes, and we were like, "Can we get rid of this box?" I was like, "Let me own it." I was like, "Do you think we really need this box?" And he was like, "We do." I was like, "For sure."
We're about to move. We gotta put that thing back in the
In
box.
the box, yeah, good. Grady Bailey says, I have both the After Image Vest and Maliwan Maya, and I'm about to get the Lunar Dust Seco Vest, so I'm loving the orange. Cool, that's awesome. Thanks for letting us know. Maybe we're sometimes too conservative in the colors. How'd it come out? No pressing?
No pressing. Looks pretty nice.
Looks pretty nice.
I just gotta find the other front.
I like this little
flappy thing.
It's a flappy detail?
Yeah.
That's the official term?
Yep. It's just some flat.
Some
it's
flappage?
flat. It's just flat piping, but it's nice.
This is my knockoff Stanley Cup from the Marshalls, but I like the color. I'm happy with the color and the price tag. Yeah. What do you think of when you think about our birthday?
Why don't you answer that question, and then I'll answer it when I'm facing the camera.
Fair enough. I guess I think about, we usually go out, for our birthday with the whole company. And I guess I think about all the, faces that have been around the table. When I think about, different years and how those meals were, I think about, I guess I think about the people who were involved in our company along the way in all the various forms. And, we've been really lucky to have some great, made some great friends, had some great staff, and, some of them are here and some of them are on doing other things, but we still talk to them or still keep up with them. I don't think, that's kind of what I think about. I guess I think about the snapshots of moments where we were at a table and it was hella awkward because we were all really young and didn't know what we were doing. And it still has moments where it's awkward or where it's hard to know exactly how to act. Yeah. That's what I think about.
Cool.
We have some comments. Does David also have a special Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition and its box? Is that a yes?
No.
No.
The Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition didn't come with a Switch case, and it didn't matter because I already had the Switch case from the Breath of the Wild, and that was the real reason I paid for the Special Edition. And I use that all the time.
That's true. The Switch is still in that Switch case. Black Lab 11113. I still have my Mass Effect 3 Special Edition box, even though I only played through the game one time 12 years ago. So you're in good company with the box hoarders. You box orders out there. I mean, a special edition box is different. I mean, like a computer box. I think
I don't keep computer boxes.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. I'll back it up. There are some boxes.
Just careful. I mean, come on.
All right, fair enough.
For some of this is a very sensitive subject.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was so sensitive.
I have the front of this jacket is asymmetrical. The left side has a little bit more of this sort of accent color, whereas the right side has less of it, but in more places.
I'm not sure if you're in frame, but I
got a camera right here.
Yeah. I just don't know how.
Maybe there's I'll show it to that camera too. So if you're
Sorry, I
watching,
didn't get it right. What are those cameras?
Somebody saw this, right? We are streaming on Instagram with one camera, a single phone.
Hello, Instagram.
We talked about maybe getting 2 Instagram cameras, like having a co-live thing happening, and then it would show up as a split screen. It's an interesting idea, but if you really want, like, the better viewing experience is probably on our YouTube.
Yeah.
We got mics, we got multiple cameras, we have the sewing focused camera.
I would love for people to be able to see the other camera, which is duct taped to a phone stand on top of a box, which is on top of a stool, which I found at the side of the road and spray painted red.
You're missing out the fact that the camera that is filming is duct taped to another camera, which is not filming.
I can't see that from here, but yes, I now see that there is a...
Yeah.
So basically, we're extremely high tech.
Yes. As Jeremiah put it, it is the streamer equivalent of the TV on top of the broken TV.
Yes, it is the streamer equivalent of that. We're professionals.
Yes.
Just in case anybody was wondering. We are professionals.
At some point, because this is kind of an onerous setup to do. At some point, Jeremiah was thinking, like, oh, is it really worth it to do this big setup for our once a year big stream? Like our once a year setup for our once a year stream? It's like, well, it is our kind of once a year. This is the one time we do it. So yeah, if it wouldn't be a once a year setup if it wasn't for a once a year stream.
Yeah.
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 This is coming along fairly quickly, actually.
Nice. It's 2:48. So you're right on. You're
I guess
right.
I'm not too far off here.
You're chugging along, but this end part always takes you longer than you think it would.
No, it doesn't. I know how long it's going to take me.
Oh, excuse me. Mr. David Volante knows everything, just in case anyone. No.
No, but I have done this a few times.
Yeah. We have gotten pretty precise about timing everything, especially our sewing times. And
sometimes it's shocking.
Sometimes it's shocking.
Sometimes I make a jacket and I'm like, wow, that only took me 3 hours?
Yeah. I think there's something kind of magical about the very first time a jacket is made.
That's true.
Because you have only made it, like, I think when you're designing the pattern, you kind of plot out the steps and you make it in your head as you're designing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
So the process of making it the first time is actually not really the
It's
first
kind
time.
of the process of making it the second time, except that...
It's the first time I'm actually seeing it in physical form.
Yeah. And that's cool. We have a guess, which is Teresa Wind. Is this a new Star Wars flight jacket inspired piece?
Ding, ding, ding. That was the thought.
That is pretty much right.
It is this is what I'm currently calling the Rebel 2. I had the name of the original version had a convenient numbering scheme built right into it. So
The Rebel 2.
the Rebel 1 was waxed canvas and sort of served it sat in an interesting place. It was one of the last things we did our designer workshop on.
It was the last designer's workshop.
Thank you.
I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I remember Jeremiah taking pictures of it at the air base which we were all surprised you can get into an air base. This is not
It's
a
not a
military
base,
base.
it's
It's
an airport.
an airfield for like small private planes, which are unbelievably cute, but that's a separate thing. But anyway, they kind of let us in, and
They said don't get hit by a plane.
they said don't get hit by a plane, and I think you leaned on something and it was like then saturated with grease or like oil or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the photos came out really sweet, but the jacket was super duper expensive.
And the designer workshop model was flawed in certain ways that we hadn't been aware of before that.
It was a tough. There were some things about it that were hard.
I hear myself slandered off stream here.
Not at all. We said actually, you went onto that. Do you remember that photo shoot for the Rebel One?
I do on the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just kind of busted out in there, and they were surprisingly relaxed about us being here.
I feel like if that's probably a huge hazard, but
They were like, "Don't touch the planes."
that's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
David was saying they just said don't get hit by a plane.
Yeah.
But
What's your ETA, David? You behind or ahead schedule?
I think I'm on schedule.
All right.
I think I'm on schedule. I may have to like book it towards the end, but yeah.
book it, sir. No, I have no.
Booking.
Do you ever regret taking something you enjoyed doing and turning it into work? What a great question. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first. Not at all. I don't regret this decision at all.
It has been 11 years, so you have perspective at this point.
Yeah, no, I think this is something I love. I love making. I love like sewing. I love making jackets. I love designing new jackets. If I hadn't taken this thing that I love doing and done it professionally, I would probably have never done it to the extent that I have done it. I mean, I obviously wouldn't have the facilities. I wouldn't have these industrial, or maybe I would have bought some industrial sewing machines, but I wouldn't have like set myself up to the ability to do like the level of production that we have to do in order to make this make these jackets
To make it
professionally.
professional.
Yeah. So this sort of feels like the realized version of the thing that I love doing, which is making a fully formed product, jacket, wearable piece of clothing. It feels like it wouldn't have been possible without doing it professionally. So, yeah. It also pushes me to do things creatively if I also have to do it for, I don't know, there's just a little more motivation behind it.
Yeah, like you are responsible for a lot of other people's jobs and livelihoods, and some of that pressure can be hard, and some of that pressure can be really helpful.
Really motivating and inspiring, so yeah.
Yeah.
Which way does this go?
You're asking the wrong person. That's a lovely question. Thanks for asking it. I think for me, I don't know. I can't say that I regret it. No, I really cannot say at any point that I regret it. There are moments that I think I could have done better or handled better or been better. But I think for me, I grew up in a family where there were two small businesses. My dad owned a small electrical repair company, and my mom was a psychologist. And so, like, I kind of knew that there were seasons where things were good, and it was, like, nice to do a job that you kind of make up. And seasons where it was hard. I remember in January, my dad would always get really depressed because he would have no work, and he was seasonally depressed anyway, and it was miserable. He would be like bumming around the house, and my mom would be just about ready to, I don't know, kick him out. Not really, but you know what I mean? So I guess for me, being able to like choose feels really good, and to be able to say, yes, I have to file my taxes, but it is my problem. Like, I don't know, I kind of like that level of responsibility. Even though I think, like David was saying, there are moments when it is stressful to be responsible for a lot of things, and moments where it's inspiring, exciting, motivating. That looks like a sleeveless jacket.
Most of a jacket.
I think my favorite part of the stitching process is the closure.
Yep.
Yours too? The final touch stitch?
No, I don't maybe. I really like putting the first couple of pieces together. I like the beginning, especially if it's a new color scheme. But if it's a new design and I haven't ever made it before, those first like.
You're always putting on the shell and being like, doesn't it look great? I'm like, no, it looks weird.
But that's because I know that if I were to just show you two pieces sewn together, like look how awesome it's gonna be, like you wouldn't have any idea what I was talking about. So
Yeah.
I have to wait until I get to a point where it looks almost like a jacket before I can express my excitement. But I'm already excited about it when I put those first two pieces together because I go, oh, that's a good seam. You know, like I get excited when I'm like, that's a really cool shape, or
yeah,
you know, like
that's sharp.
those two pieces of fabric and that top stitching together looks fucking sick. Like that's what I get excited about.
Diana Gaming says, as the owner of an RFO Rebel 1, I'm pretty sure it was the last designer workshop. It was the last designer workshop. The designer workshops were super fun because we kind of designed a new thing every 2 weeks or every week, which was also really, really exhausting and burning outing.
It was cost ineffective.
It was super cost ineffective.
If a design in the designer workshop failed, the cost of developing a new product, photographing it, launching it, everybody we just realized that like if we only made 42, we were not making cost, much less making profit.
For us, the solution to ever scaling our company up is volume. That's period.com. That's it. That's the solution to being able to do launch design in a larger way. And part of why we're working on some international manufacturing is also to be able to sell things at a slightly lower price so that we might sell more of them. I think our shirts are a great example. They feel really hard to buy for $200. They feel hard to sell for $200 for us.
They don't, it does, yeah, exactly.
It doesn't feel quite, it's like not quite, they're great shirts. Don't get me wrong. They are great shirts. And
other companies sell $200 shirts.
Right. But it doesn't feel like the right price in regards to some of our other products and in regards to, it doesn't feel like the right price in the ecosystem. Yeah. I'm sure that the whole process engineering part also pushes new design challenges that just doing it for yourself would not bring up. Good question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first couple of things I made, and I showed one of them off showed off the black and gold jacket.
Oh yeah, I remember you making that in, what's his name's extra room? What's his name?
Denny?
Denny's extra bedroom.
Yeah. That was actually, yeah.
Yeah, because you were like subletting a room from somebody else in the year after college.
And that one, like, there is, I'm technically minded, you can tell in my designs, I'm sure.
No.
I like to figure out the real details of how this works.
Yeah.
But part of the excitement of designing a new product is the figuring out how to make it production ready.
Yeah.
So,
part of the puzzle.
Part of the puzzle is getting it production ready. Oh, that's where the collar went. And I wouldn't have to do that if I was just making it for myself. I'd just make mine, I'd make it work, I'd hide a bunch of sins in the lining.
Yeah. You'd finagle it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Therese, the Cross Kitten said, ooh, that's a good seam. It's the most relatable sewer statement ever. It is. It's very relatable. I don't sew very well, and I even am like, ooh. Christineer0 asks, what are the odds of a Doomcoat prototype showing up in the RFAO sale?
I think there's a possibility.
I honestly don't know the answer to that because I'm being given thumbs and fingers, so that's my answer. Thumbs and fingers.
Oh yeah, there might be a prototype. I think there's a prototype. Before I decided that we would make it in a really expensive wool because that was the way it should be, I made the first two of them out of denim. In some weird colors.
Yeah.
But weird colors that I thought were cool, and were kind of different from what we've done before.
Huh.
So it's possible that one of those might show up.
There might even be a wool one. I mean, who's to say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say that I know everything that happens in our company anymore, which certainly since we've had twins, it is dramatically harder to keep track of all the little things that might have happened.
Because you're keeping
huge,
track of little things?
I'm keeping track of other little things, little people. They are a lot to track of. Volante says, yes, 100% good shirts, but they are a major splurge item. The jackets at these costs are a lot, but feel more meaty. Yes, couldn't agree with you more. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Tim, for generally being alive and well on our Discord. We appreciate you. Yeah, they are. It's a splurge for a really nice shirt, don't get me wrong, but we're working on making that a little more accessible. The 3 things we really want to work on in the next 10 years, which I know is a long time, is inclusivity. This means having sizes or stretchier items that fit a broader range of body types. We've also talked about making cuts for different shaped people. Sort of our cuts tend to be David shaped, or me in my 20s shaped, which I'm not anymore. So I don't even fit into some of our products anymore, which I don't love. And I know that it is hard to cater to every body type and shape, but we would really like to do a better job of trying. I can't say that we will 100% do it, but we can do better for sure. So we want to show more types of people. So inclusivity.
The Kage jacket is a little bit of an attempt at changing our cut availability.
Yeah, the Kage jacket has an adjuster in the back which can like loosen or tighten it so that you still can have like a waist seam or waistline, but still kind of like have it's a looser cut, a looser shape. So it's a little more flexible on who it fits and who it looks good on. So we also want to be more inclusive in our marketing efforts. It's hard because we don't know that broad a variety of people. We kind of know a few folks in the area and we have a few models, but we will continue to solicit.
And the model, even the like paid professional model pool in this area is pretty small. Right,
and they look a certain way and they fit into certain sizes, and we would really like to show more body types and identities. That's, again, we have been using ourselves and our close friends as models, and that's limiting.
What did I do here?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did the brave David Volante make a mistake?
Yeah, but it's not a terrible one. I do have to read about the scene, but it's not a bad one.
Yeah. So we want to work on being inclusive. We want to be working on accessibility, so price point is a big part of that. We want to make it easy for people to understand how our products work and might serve them. I mean, that's kind of more of the marketing angle, but we want people to be able to be along for the ride of our brand or of our company and its story without spending $400 or $500. All of our accessories, this is a bad secret, that are loss leaders, because we want to be able to produce things that go with other things that we sell, and we want to be able to invite people into our community and our fan base. We sort of bank on our loss leaders showing people the quality we have and what we do, and we know that they aren't really strictly profitable on their own account. So accessibility, inclusivity, and badass, of course, is an ever expanding area. Would you like to talk about that one? Or are you busy trying to figure out how to put your sleeve together?
I'm busy to fix this. Yeah, busy fixing this.
Yeah, well, so there are a number of ways badass kind of looks. We want to make things as good as we possibly can. That's always been true. We feel like with our current capacities, one of the reasons we're looking at overseas manufacturing is that we can increase sort of our tools. We could start making things truly seam taped and truly waterproof. We could start making things that are kind of more embossed or have a silicone texture or overlayer on them. We could start making things.
Printed fabrics, all sorts of things that are, techniques and processes that are not available to us here.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. So what we say badass, we're really aiming to make things super rugged and look as good as we can and have as much function and use for you, our customers, as possible. When David's saying like he got better at making things, partially because he was trying to figure out how to scale them for production, I think it's a really good example. The longer we do this, I think the more we want to get out of each design, or like we want to make it incrementally better. Yeah. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does sound right. It's more fleshed out than what we even wrote.
I thought we wrote some of that, but yeah.
We did write some of that. That's the point. What I mean by yes, I agree.
Deanna Gaming says, something I would say is that you're best keep blowing the mind of men that see me at them in kinds of meetups and events. People never realize that mask fashion could be like this. Thank you. That feels like a really genuine compliment.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely make more mask fashion than anything else. That's true. Black Lab 111111113. As a fellow twin parent, get used to not keeping track of little things. It doesn't really get better. Oh, thanks, man. No, it is. There's something. A friend of ours came to visit the other day and had dinner with us, and he has no children and has no close friends who have children, and it was funny to have that outside perspective of someone who like just doesn't know what it looks like to have kids. And he kind of like sat at the dinner table, and of course, you know, our little guys are 16 months-ish, and they are chaos monsters, as I'm sure people who have children in their lives know. 16-month-old children are unbelievably mobile and capable. They're really clear about what they want and what they don't want. There's no logic. There's no rhyme or reason. It's
There's no discernible logic.
There's no discernible logic, that's fair. And it's super fun. We're having a really good time being parents, but it is a lot of work. And it is a lot of work. They're not mutually exclusive. And we are not keeping up with the little things, it's true. If it's not going to be reminded to me on one of the AI platforms that keep track of my tasks, i.e. Asana or Google, it's not happening. Thank you for asking questions and for jumping in on our live stream. We are putting together a brand new product today for you. David is, I'm not. But I am here to answer your questions.
Sometimes when we put together new products, we make small mistakes. But that's fine.
This is part of life. It is our 11th birthday. It is kind of amazing how I remember when we turned 5 and suddenly companies started to take us seriously.
I can say snaps after. That's fine.
Sure.
Yep, because I gotta do the jacket snaps. So,
I remember distinctly turning 5 as a company and having companies be like, "Oh, we'll work with you now."
We'll work with you now.
Even though nothing had like substantially changed except the calendar ticked over to year 5.
Yeah, I think we signed our first license like a month after we had our 5th anniversary.
Yeah. Because they were like, "Oh,
Aha, you are a company." Which is cool. To us at the time,
are we a company?" I still don't know. Some days I don't know.
To us at the time, it felt a little bit like, we've been doing the same thing for a long time. You could have just, like we're actually not different than we were before.
Mm-hmm. The year changing over has not
It hasn't changed
hasn't
much.
changed anything.
Yeah. So I know one person said they have the Rebel 1 sample out there.
Yeah.
I gotta look at this. Thing. Would you mind just grabbing me
I
the?
can't. He needs to look at the So-By sample.
Just put it here,
Just put it here.
if you would.
Bomb the camera. Hello. Helpful? Very helpful.
Very helpful.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I think when you've just made the pattern, it's also like crisp and fresh in your mind. And this one.
Well, this is also, we said this is not. We haven't really done a cuff like this before.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to remind myself what I had in mind. It's not that side. Is it?
Diana Gaming says it. Oh, it is a compliment. People are like, wait, you can get that kind of thing? Damn, maybe I need to get interested in my own clothing more if I can get that kind of a design. Thank you. I think that's the ultimate compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, oh, I could care about my clothes if I could get something
Like that.
like that. I think that's our ideal customer.
I think that is kind of the
problem we
our
solve.
target customer. It is
Yeah.
what we solve. I didn't care much about I cared about how I looked, but like the actual clothing, before I started really thinking about it in a way, I was wearing costumes before, basically.
All the time.
Yeah, and by that I mean like I was either dressing a certain way because that was it, like that was what I had available to me, and it didn't feel like me, so I was dressing up as somebody else,
Yeah.
kind of. That kind of wearing a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that worked great. Or I was dressing up the way I would like to dress up, which is something that would fit on a planet that is not this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, finding a way to make things for myself that felt like they fit on this planet, could exist on this planet, but don't currently, gave me a different way of thinking. Oh yeah, I can care about my clothes because this is actually how I want to be looking.
Yeah.
The biggest sort of creative challenge for me, since I started doing that, was figuring out how to do that.
You're smushing up this cuff so it fits into this sleeve.
Yeah.
So that
Just gotta squish that
it's
in.
fine.
How many other ways it can be done for other people,
Mm-hmm.
and also while also sort of sticking within my own aesthetic, but not necessarily. I'm not necessarily designing each jacket as something I want to wear.
Yeah.
I am designing things now as things that I like and designs that I want to make,
And that like fit in
Creatively,
the
but-
world.
but not necessarily something that I'm like, I need to wear this thing.
So what do you wear of your own designs at the moment? I know this pocket is hard and you're trying to get it right. And I the sleeve cuff.
I have a design that we've sort of teased a couple of times that has not yet been released because I've been wearing it. It's only been teased because I've been wearing it when we needed to take a selfie because we were at a place or doing a thing.
The secco?
Yeah, that's my jacket, sort of winter coat, and then I have the. I wear my Secco pants.
I mean, you're wearing this shirt today.
That's true.
You do wear
know,
almost all of our shirts.
I wear our shirts when I want to look nice.
So you wanted to look nice for this live stream today?
I thought maybe today would be a good day to look nice.
That's nice. I know you wear the 2411 a lot.
I wear the 2411 all the time.
all the time because it's the perfect kind of mid-weight
Yeah.
piece.
It's easy to wear. It's a nice jacket. It's waterproof. It's got a hood. If it's raining, if it begins raining, I have protection, and otherwise, it's like kind of perfect. The H4 Storm does exactly the same thing, and that's really nice. And I want to do some more of those sort of waterproof soft shell
Hoodie-esque.
hoodie.
Like hoodie, but not hoodie.
Yeah.
Like a
It's-
North Face jacket with style.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking to you. We're messing you up.
I'm just thinking about. I'm just talking and forgetting. Crucial operations.
Crucial operations are being missed, people.
It's fine.
Oh, that works great. Is the most relatable maker's statement. You cut a corner, and in fact, it has worked, and you got away with it. Congratulations.
Good. I'm on. We got some creators.
Yes, it's nice. I have to say, I'm always impressed with our audience and how kind of fun they are. Not that I expect anything worse, but like there's some really cool, creative people in our audience that make stitch, that do needlepoint, that make things in 3D. I don't know the words for it, but then they paint them and they look really sweet. I love that we have a Forge channel and lots of people on there who have their creative projects to share. I also think food is a very legitimate add to that channel. Please don't ever be shy. As somebody who likes to cook, it's definitely
A creative endeavor.
a creative endeavor. This part always baffles me.
Snipping?
The snipping. I'm told that all professional stitchers know all about it and are very serious about snipping, but I still don't quite get it. I have to admit.
If you want a seam to lay flat, sometimes you gotta snip it.
No, I get the concept, but I don't quite know when and where you'd snip. I know that's very specific, but. Oh, somebody wants to know what is the distinction between Seiko and Kage in design language.
Aha!
Because I know we're talking about the Seiko jacket, which hasn't come out yet, but I know we also just released a Seiko vest.
Yeah,
Do you want to tell us about that?
that's a great question. It kind of threw me for a loop.
This
a little
Mobius
bit.
strip moment is also a.
No, we haven't gotten to the little movie strip. We'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
It kind of threw me for a loop when I was designing the Seiko vest and Kage jacket.
It
Because
threw everyone for a loop, David Volante, because
no,
it was baffling.
because I knew what it needed to be named, and that naming it that would be confusing for most people, especially the people who had to keep the name straight when
Internally.
So I knew it needed to be the for me the Seiko. Seiko in Japanese means scout.
So why did you just clip that seam?
So I'm gonna fold this seam. So I'm gonna fold this flat.
Yeah.
And
You want it to kind of lay.
I want it to lay flat here, but I can't lay it flat all the way up because of this bagged lining here.
Yep.
So because of this, and there's a lot of extra fabric here, this wants to go this way, but I don't want this all to go that way. I want this to be flat, so that way when I turn it inside out, it won't have a funny look from going one way from the seam trying to flip itself midway through.
Huh. All right. I'm sorry I interrupted you. You were talking about the Kage and the Seiko.
Yeah.
So Seiko means scout.
Seiko means scout, and Kage means shadow. And to me, those have just very different sort of implications for what a design should do. I think a scout is kind of, somebody who runs ahead, who has most of their own supplies on themselves because they're operating as a single unit.
Love it.
So pockets, utility, durability. All that stuff has to be in a Seiko thing. That's why the Seiko vest has the extra big pockets, and it's canvas,
Yeah,
and it's
a
very
little,
structured.
Yeah.
And then Kage means shadow, and that is the opposite of structured in my mind. And the Kage pants are.
So it's kind of structured and unstructured.
It's kind of structured and unstructured.
Cool.
And Kage, and to do that, I've kind of gone more on the sort of neo-traditional, is what I call the design sort of ethos of like the Kage pants, which is kind of like Hakama, but modernized, whereas the Seiko pants are further away from the historical inspiration.
Cool.
The Kage jacket is kind of a Haori, but with a zipper.
I mean, yeah.
It's basically a Haori. It's got Haori sleeves. It's about the length of a Haori. It's designed
It's
to be
still
worn.
quite a few steps away from a Howard, but
It's
it's a very
designed to be
it's a
worn
very cool-
open. It's
yeah.
lightweight. It's flowy.
Yeah. If anything you make is flowy, then that is flowy.
Right.
Yeah.
But it
Hard to
does.
say that what you've made it, even in the Kage jacket, is flowy.
Fine. Fair enough. But that's how I see that's how I see those two separate sort of lines in our Ninja collection.
Love it. Thanks for explaining that. I didn't think I knew that. I mean, I knew that Kage meant shadow, but I guess I didn't think about the sort of softer lines and the sort of perhaps more traditional Well, closer to traditional
what you think
clothing.
of as a ninja. I think, you know, like historically.
We just finished Shogun. I don't know if people are watching it. There are not a lot of ninjas in it, but it does have some great
There
fashion.
are a couple.
There are a couple, yes. Are there?
Yeah.
Like the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, there's some ninjas.
Missed those. Well, anyway, I've been fast. The clothing design is delightful, and it's a pretty good story.
Yeah. I
Would
like-
recommend. Would recommend if you're out there looking for some TV.
Yes.
I think that David is also trying to get us to watch the Ninja show on Netflix.
Yes.
Called Ninja?
House of Ninjas.
House of Ninja.
I think it's a very different thing.
I can only imagine it's a very different thing.
It's about a modern family of ninjas.
A modern family. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a little different.
it is, and they've got some family drama
Uh,
and also some ninja drama, I guess.
some ninja drama.
Yeah,
What is
there's
ninja drama.
Yeah, like ninja clans fighting each other.
Yeah, that's the drama I've signed up for when I want to watch a ninja thing. I don't know about the family drama, although I suppose
Maybe it's fun.
in the context, we'll see. We'll see.
I've heard reasonably good things about it.
I
don't think
I've
it's on
gotten
the
some
level.
really good recommendations from the Vanguard for things to watch. I think Avechka recommended us to watch that German show. God, what was it called?
Babylon Berlin.
Yes, and we really liked that.
Yeah.
It was fun. Although baffling at the end, but that's separate. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good show. How are you looking on your timeline?
Oh yeah.
It's
I might go. I'm gonna go.
3:22.
I'm gonna go a little over here.
Cool.
Not a lot over. But final top stitch.
Thank you for joining us on this live stream. We are sewing a brand new product that no one has seen before, that someone has already guessed the origins of. It is associated with the Rebel 1. It is in fact called the Rebel 2.
The Rebel 2.
And-
The idea. So I wanted to talk a little bit about like the changes between this and the
Cool.
original version, and
Yeah.
what I'm hoping this will accomplish. Because
Great.
we've got a lot of short jackets. The Rebel 1 was kind of just another short jacket in our collection. It didn't do anything different from a lot of our other stuff, except for that it was waxed canvas, which is nice and sort of filled the tracer gap.
Yeah.
But this jacket, this time, I wanted it to be a little bit more like a shirt jacket, like a sort of Levi's work jacket.
Yeah.
So it's a lighter weight jacket than we've ever made before, with the exception actually of the Kage jacket.
Yeah. Well, it's just
But it serves obviously a very different sort of niche than the Kage jacket. What?
nothing. You're just trimming, and it looks so easy and elegant. And I know that it's hard because I know how many people have struggled to do it right in our samples.
Gotta trim those corners off. They get too bulky otherwise.
No, the corners I totally get. So why did you just trim a bunch of because that's where the seams get lumpy, right on those multiple seams coming together points?
This is actually, it doesn't look like it, but that's actually a corner.
That's a corner?
Yeah. Like this is a corner,
Oh, I mean, yeah, I get it's a corner on the bottom of the jacket.
Yeah. So that's what I do. And also there is a bulky seam there, so yeah, trying to just like cut away some of the extra stuff.
Extra.
So yeah, I wanted to make a shirt jacket. So it's got, instead of the zipper closure that the Rebel 1 had, this has snap closure.
Love that.
So it's more like a shirt, like a snap shirt. I don't know, it's kind of a lined shirt jacket.
A lined shirt jacket. Can't wait.
It's a little lighter weight.
I have seen it before, so I'm a little
This is sort of a new version of it. It's a little lighter weight. It's just serves a slightly different purpose than some of our other short jackets. I think this will be great. Sort of summer evening jacket.
makes sense.
And it gets a little chilly, but it's not as cold as our other stuff.
Great. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm being told that we will be doing a special cake cutting celebration for our 11th birthday. We're only going to stream that on Instagram only because the YouTube setup is not that travelable at this
It's
moment.
extremely immobile.
It's not very mobile. So we would love, love, love for you to join us on YouTube, on Instagram in the next chapter. We're probably just going to schlep ourselves over there when we are done with this jacket, when David is done with this jacket. So please join us if you are on Instagram, or if you are able to be on Instagram. And that'll probably be in, I'm going to say 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Right around 3:45 is my guess. We'll see.
I would like
But
to
anyway.
say this would be done in the next 10 minutes, at most 15 minutes, but really I just have to turn it and top stitch it. And
It might be done.
that doesn't take very long.
Nope. But it doesn't not have a lot of little bits, and we're talking, so I figured it, I sort of factored in a little extra.
Yeah.
The distraction factor.
The distractor?
The distractor factor. It will also be the end of this long video, so we can cut the Instagram stream, which is only cake.
Got the Instagram stream.
We can cut the stream and start it again, is what is being
Oh, I see,
suggested.
yeah.
I'm getting options. I'm not sure that I'm going to decide here or now, but...
Options that could have been planned out ahead of time.
Oh, yes, always.
Could have been. But would it have been as fun to do that?
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. No, it would have been good. I think it would have been fine, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Oh, you were talking about the Mobius strip.
Oh yeah, this is the Mobius strip moment, right?
I've done the sleeves already, but when you sew a jacket lining to shell,
It looks whack.
it's I'm gonna try and explain, but the sleeves have to become a sort of loop on either end.
It's kind of, yeah,
It's kind of weird, right?
it's definitely weird. It's fun.
So you get these kind of like hanging loop things.
This is the part of sewing that my brain is just like,
Can't do that.
nope. I could never keep it straight where those things need to line up.
It's easy. You just
Yeah, it's a piece of cake. It's no problem. What's your, yeah.
You gotta follow the seam. You gotta pick a seam.
Yeah, you gotta just pick a seam.
That's the armpit seam, and then you just follow that seam and follow the line all the way down. And if
We all have our
if you don't
qualities,
have to-
David Volante.
if you don't have to go, if you just go in a straight line, if you're following that seam and it goes in a straight line, armpit to armpit, then you're good. If it twists in the process, you gotta
Not
take
good.
that shit out
Yeah.
and start over.
Great, thanks. I'll bear that in mind the next time.
In the old days, before I figured out how to do it this way, we would do the perimeter seam, turn the whole jacket inside out, and then without having closed the cuffs, and then reach back into the jacket and grab the cuff on either side and pull it back out through the hole and then sew it, because that was an easier way of like wrapping your brain around the direction of like how things, because you could match them up the right way on the outside of the jacket and then just pull them through with a strong grip.
I'm sure that there are people who are following along who know what you're talking about, but I'm not one of them.
And then I figured out how to do it without having to sort of do some work, reverse it, do more work, unreverse it.
It's
I'm trying to
good that you
describe
know.
this
It's
in
good that you know
I'm trying
how
to
to do
describe
that.
this in the easiest way.
No, I have a sort of blind spot when it comes to visual things being described with words. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm sorry, what?
You're gonna have to show me.
You're gonna have to show me how that works. I can't picture it. I really like to make samples. I really like to see swatch cards. I like to have in fact, my ideal color choosing process is to sort of make little swatches, like to see all the fabrics and colors together with a little seam. It wouldn't even need to be huge, but it would be like, this would be a great little sample swatch. Because then we kind of get the flavor. It's like you and your first seam, you kind of get to see
Yeah.
what it's gonna look like. I prefer to see it than to try and guess it.
And a jacket.
And the jacket. being peered in at by various people. I think this is the time when we were gonna cut cake and have a thing, but we need another few minutes.
We're almost there. Almost there. Could have started a little earlier.
It's really because you made that one error.
It
Now
is
we're
actually slowed
behind.
me down. It added at least 5 minutes to the.
I mean, I think it's pretty impressive that you know so precisely how long this is going to take. This is the final top stitch, which has to be done all in one big
You're going around the whole perimeter.
bang. That's right.
We have no camera over here, so we can't show how cool it is.
I'll tell you, it's very cool. It's very, very cool. So, what's new with you? How many years have we been doing Rare Finds and Oddities? Is this our 3rd year, 4th year? I think Sarah came up with it for the first time ever. And we've been doing it since then, but inconsistently.
So, like 2020?
Yeah, so like 2020-ish. I think we maybe did it for the first time when we moved and we realized how many samples we had. We were like, oh, hang on. There's a million of these and we need to keep the sew by samples, but we don't need to keep all the samples ever. So, yeah. So that means this is like the 4th year of Rare Finds and Oddities. Crazy. My sense of time is clearly off a little. That's our alarm bell, Percy. He lets us know.
People are encroaching upon space.
If you've been joining us, or if you're joining us for the first time, we are sewing a brand new product, which will be almost done soon. And this is in celebration of our 11th birthday, which was yesterday to the day. We're pretty thrilled to be able to do things like this with an audience like you. We're gonna be cutting a cake and having some fun after this, and you're welcome to join us for the whole gang. We have a birthday sale running. We're giving 11% off on everything on our website, which we really only ever do at Black Friday. So if you have been thinking about one of our products, we would love for you to take advantage of our birthday sale this week. It's live until midnight on Friday, tomorrow. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. If you have questions, comments, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. You can also join us on Discord if you ever want to chat with us, talk to us. We are there kind of a lot. Yeah, we've had some great questions. Thank you, people, for asking questions. I really appreciate it. It helps me
You've been having to host this
have
on
a
your own
direction.
otherwise.
Yep, in this discussion. I think we're like 5 minutes away. 5 minutes away from the grand reveal.
Yeah, I might reveal it without the snaps.
Oh, all right, fair enough. The snaps can get added after. It's funny being this. Usually we live stream over there. We tried live streaming in our other major room recently, and I think, you know, this is another. We have the buzzing of our warp core, and there are other people working quietly and trying not to disrupt us, which is really cute.
And trying not to be annoyed at us.
And trying not to be super annoyed at us for disrupting them, which is also kind. So yeah, nice, a new space to do this in.
I think it's nice because it's a little less echoey in here.
Yeah. All right, we're reaching the final flat seam. Can't wait to show it to you. Oops, my tucked in. Oh well, it's pretty warm. There will be a final product in, I think, like.
Increasing the pressure.
We need a countdown clock. The pressure is too much for you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. love that people asked if we regret doing our hobbies, I don't know if they're, as a work thing.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great question. I think for me, you know, as I continue to think about it, it's like, it's the hardest, best thing ever to work with your spouse sometimes too. It's like we share all of our successes and all of our failures. Like we really, and we have twins, so it's kind of, yeah.
All in?
It's kind of all in, but it's been really great. Yeah, I have no complaints. You?
Nope.
Good answer.
No complaints.
All right.
No regrets. All right.
No regrets?
No regrets.
All right.
Okay, so here, plus snaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rebel 2 for the very first time with the corresponding.
Yes, and so this is it. Got some pockets. It's got some.
All right, guys. I think the cat's out of the bag online a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe people have already noticed. This is a Shadow Drop product. This is a new product which is now available for order. The ones that you order online will have closure snaps, but otherwise,
This is the final
this is
product.
it. It also comes in a in an alternate color, but also a sort of alternate utility. Just toss.
It's funny. It's very. Someone on Instagram said, or Balbo93 said, "Is this a new reveal for a new item? I'm just joining," and then immediately said, "What?" Exclamation point.
Fun. This is Squall, which is waterproof wax.
This is a wax. We did a wax canvas
Very
version
elegant.
and a light jacket version. To me, they have really different, not just looks and
Yeah,
the color
this
scheme.
is something where I would genuinely really want both.
Yeah.
Like most of our
The
colors,
utilities of each are very different. This
most
is
of our products, it's like you pick one color scheme that's like better for your
That's
life
a
and your
color.
wardrobe, but these are like functionally so different.
yeah. This is much lighter. It's nice. It's good for like 65-degree weather, whereas this is much more of a a cool weather coat, and it has that rain that weatherproofing to it.
Well, I think we're heading over to have champagne and cake. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining us for this live stream. We are thrilled to be showing off the Rebel 2 for the very first time, and it was great fun to sew one with you.
Yeah.
Or to be here.
Thanks for hosting.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone
for
who
joining.
joined us on Instagram. The party will carry on. Come on down.